welcome back to another week, another edition of the KFC WTL Kung Fu Cup 2024 Summer Round number 6. I'm of course Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Buenas. Buenos dias, everyone. Buenos dias. It's great to be back here once again for another Kung Fu Cup. Again, we were on a bit of a hiatus. We did take last week off because of, last week, the last couple of weeks off because of DreamHack, but now we are back in the full swing of things, at least for another week. Next week, of course, is Homestory Cup. Homestory Cup is next week, so we won't have a Kung Fu Cup next week, but at least we are able to embrace it here and now. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our first series, we have our first player, we have our Swedish Zerg player representing Team Ruddy. It is Fjant. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Green Terran, player from the land of the Netherlands, representing Offside Esports. It is uThermal. Let's go. Let us go. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is massive. It's insane, as it always is for the Kung Fu Cup. Plenty of high quality matches that are currently ongoing, but we have decided to jump on this one, at least to begin with. Going to be following this into the next round and into the round after that. Let's go. For now, it's going to be a 2-Rax Reaper. 2-Rax Reaper here by uThermal. uThermal is, of course, playing Terran. Not random, just to make that clear, is playing Terran. And uThermal has been practicing and competing as Terran for quite a bit longer nowadays. For a couple of months now, uThermal, he casts aside the random. He was playing random for a while, but he has since stopped playing random. It's all about the Terran for uThermal. Meanwhile, across the map, Fjant, of course, opening up Hatch Gas Pool. Standard opener out of Fjant. Overlord is going to be dipping on in, and we will get eyes on the opener of choice. We'll get eyes on both Raxes. Now, this could still be a 3-Rax Reaper. 3-Rax Reaper, we actually saw that a couple of days ago, even in the ESL Open Cups, which really shocked me. It was Cure. Cure went 3-Rax Reaper. It was crazy. Yeah, it's just something you don't really see too often, and the Raxes have been spotted, and the CC is spotted as well.
Our forces are under attack.
CC is spotted, so Fjant is fully aware what's going on. Reaper gets across the map and going for a drone. Ooh, one drone goes down. Nice body blocking there out of uThermal, avoiding that spore for kind of denying any kind of spore trick for as long as possible. The drone does go down. Already a good start. Meanwhile, the third base has been thrown down. uThermal, once he gets eyes on this, he can make an extra wave of Reapers. For now, he has yet to really confirm. He's still dancing with the army, looking for another drone kill. So for now, it's just 3. Okay, so 3 Reapers. At this point, it's too late to make a 4th and 5th. There we go. We are transitioning out of this. Third base has successfully been taken. We see the Reapers. They now check. They now confirm. They ignore it. It's too late to deny that third. They head for the main. They head into the main base. Oh, they force a big reaction. We were slightly out of position. Up. Reapers trying to find a way out. Lings will block them in. A nice movement here out of Fjant. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 Reapers go down. Very nice pickups here by Fjant. Again, just locking that army in. And with that, Fjant, these are some acceptable losses. Yes, Fjant did lose a drone. Did lose a drone earlier, which is less than ideal. But, no! We got a surround! Oh, that should not have... uThermal. That should not have happened. The slow link surrounding the Reaper. Fjant with a bit of overconfidence. I mean, it pays off. Does pay off. We get the kill on all 3 Reapers. On top of that, yes, we only lost one. We lost 1 worker, but for 3 Reapers, worth it. That was a worthwhile trade here for Fjant. He does settle into a 3-base economy. He's droning up and making more queens. Fjant is sitting back pretty. Meanwhile, across the map, uThermal is transitioning into his 2-1-1. It's going to be, I believe, a 3cc. Yep, 3cc 2-1-1 here out of uThermal. Is working towards Stim, is building up his bio army. First, we make an extra couple of waves of Hellions, and then we go for the medevac production. Then we go for our push. So it's going to take a little bit longer here for the Stim timing to come into effect. Because of that, Fjant does have time to drone. Fjant, he is free to drone for another minute or so. Then we do need to focus on building up our Lings, working towards +1 carapace, working towards lair, and getting ready for the Stim time. The Overlord does confirm. Does confirm the starport. Ooh, taking some extra hits, but should be able to get away. I spoke too soon. As uThermal is on the hunt, looking to chase down that Overlord. Yeah, literally at the factory just in case. Overlord is going to be hunted down. There's the add-on top again, reactor on the starport. That should be for medevacs. uThermal even does land that third base. Meanwhile, back at home again, we have been droning up to 52 workers. Just under 3 base saturation. We're getting ready to expand and take a 4th base. Hellions are applying pressure, but so far we're keeping up. We're even getting a kill on 1 Hellion. Hellion goes down, Baneling Nest on the way. Okay, so we're playing it safe. We're going Baneling Nest before Lair, so a much more safer variation here for Fjant. Just making sure he doesn't die to something like a Hellbat push. And uThermal is one to bring out something like a Hellbat push, so I don't blame Fjant. Links get across the map, the bio is spotted. Couple links going down. Yeah, and here comes that stim timing. Stim is now done. We have Hellions to support the army as well. Quickly checking, there is no armory. Lair now on the way. Now we're getting to 1-1 upgrades. Again, upgrades have been delayed in favor of those safety banelings. And here comes the army. So far, Queen's under fire. There's no transfuse. Oh, no transfuse. 1 Queen goes down. And clutch transfuse towards the end. But where are the Lings? Have we been too greedy? Banelings are rolling in, but they're slow Banes. Ay, ay, ay. Again, we need more Lings than anything to support these Queens. Reinforcements coming in. Oh! Decent connections. Whew. Decent connections there from Fjant. Did cost him 6 drones at the same time. 3 SCVs went down across the map. That was a very close hold, but a hold nonetheless. Now, it did cost us 3 Queens. These were some rough losses. 3 Queens went down, a lot of Lings, drones as well. But now we're going to be able to recover. We're going to be able to calm things down, get our 4th base up and running, and Fjanti's holding his own. He's holding his own. That was some good damage from uThermal. Still a back and forth. Drop play going to be continuing. More Raxus being thrown down in the main. Armory as well for eventually 2-2. And again, we're loading into Alkione, so as we're getting into this map, it's more macro-oriented, getting a 3rd, 4th, 5th base up and running. We can really sink our teeth into this TvZ. At least I'm hoping so. Hoping we can. Double jump towards that base on the right-hand side. The creep is a little bit lacking. The creep is looking solid here on the left, but here towards the right-hand side, barely any active tumors. Which means we're going to be able to sneak up on this base. Up! Lings are trickling in. Banelings do try to collapse. Going for the hatchery. Ooh, and that's a cancel on the hatchery. Cancel on the 4th. Towards the left-hand side, we're being active with a drop. Meanwhile, double jump goes straight into the main. Ooh, drones are going down. And yeah, this is a brutal position here. In between the gas geysers. Lings, they cannot engage, not too freely. At the same time, drop here towards the left-hand side. And we are pulling Fjant apart a little bit here. We don't quite get the Queen, and it was only 3 drone kills, but we're still not done. This position is brutal. The target firing! Oh my god. Catching 2 Banelings. Getting the 3rd. Okay, the final Baneling goes down. Drops will pick up. They get the hell out of there. But again, you can see Fjant just having a hard time keeping up with the multi-pronged aggression. He has the Ling Bane to defend, but is just a little bit distracted. Gas guys are going down. We deny any kind of mining time here at the natural. And the drop play continues. And that's a doom drop. Oh my god, 4 full medevacs. Headed towards the 4th base. 10 drones going down. The losses, they're stacking up. It's looking a little bit more and more dire here for Fjant. And here comes the kill move. Here comes the kill move. Here comes the doom drop into the 4th. The army has arrived. The base is going to go down. There's no saving the hatchery. Lings on their own cannot engage. We see Fjant trying to expand elsewhere, but we're in position. And we force a cancel. Fjant, he had a decent start here, but yeah, this drop play, it's just difficult to keep up with, especially once the ball gets rolling. Like early on, because we lost 3 Queens, we have that much less anti-air, which means we can't really deny these drops. How many Queens are we on right now? 5. We didn't remake them. Queens were not remade. Anti-air is limited. He's having a hard time keeping up. And here comes the main push. Here comes the kill move for uThermal. Behind all of this drop play, we've been macroing. We have been macroing up 4th base. We have 3 tanks. We have soon to be 2-2. And Fjant just doesn't have the supply. He doesn't have the larva. Again, we've been lacking injects, lacking larva. Bailey's rolling in. We do take down one of the tanks. Tank does fall, but GG is just too much, and uThermal will take game number 1. GG. Again, really impressive play there out of uThermal to be able to drop the way that he did, to be as active as he was, while of course macroing behind it. Did put Fjant on the back foot. Again, Fjant, it was just a really rough start. Losing all those queens early on and not to replace those queens means that there's lesser threat in these drops. We saw that, again, the medevacs, they could just freely dip in between all these bases. We just couldn't really punish them, we couldn't really keep up. It was more Fjant just reacting here to each drop as they came, wasn't able to preemptively be in position for much of this. Another reason for that, of course, we had lack of vision on the right hand side, so we snuck up on the 4th base, forced a cancel as well. Like, it was it was the dominoes falling one after the other. The snowball effect was real, and uThermal takes a lead. Does take a lead, but I'm hoping that we can bring it back. Again, I want to believe that in a game where Fjant can stabilize, I want to believe that we can have an ace match and bring it all the way to game 3. But the pressure is on, and spawning in the top left-hand corner. In the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have our Swedish Zerg player, the yellow Zerg representing Team Roddy. Down in this series, looking to bounce back, it is Fjant. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player from the land of the Netherlands, leading the series 1-0. It is uThermal. Changing his color? God. Hold on. Hold on. Where the ketchup and mustard, the tomato sauce and mustard. Let's go. Bam. There we go. Just catching up with the chat, and a big shout out to Chileno Singaporean in the chat. Papi, gracias, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Thank you. Always appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, Papi. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Chileno. Gracias. As once again, same opener. It's going to be 2-Rax Reaper. 2-Rax Reaper here out of uThermal. I could be speaking a little bit I could be like speaking out of turn here. It could be like 3-Rax Reaper. We could throw down a 3rd Rax in the main. But for the time being, 2-Rax Reaper is the opener of choice. Behind this, Fjant getting into his hatch gas pool, standard opener himself. And remember, early on, Fjant handled the 2-Rax Reaper very nicely. Very, very nicely. He was able to kill and shut down all 3 Reapers, and they only got 1 drone and a handful of Lings for their trouble. It was a strong start for Fjant. It was the follow-up. It was the stim timing that did catch Fjant with his pants down a little bit. He wasn't fully prepared for that stim timing, and he was punished for it. So we'll see if we can have another strong start and maybe have, or maybe tighten up in the follow-up. Here we go. Title check? Oh, is the title wrong? Wait, what? Oh, it is. Oh, my apologies. Gracias, papi, gracias. My apologies. I thought that I'd fixed it. My apologies. Alright. Thank you so much for wanting it out. Did fix up the title. Mark hasn't competed as random in a few months. He has been picking Terran. There we go. For those that are curious, uThermal hasn't been competing as random for a couple of months now. If you remember, I think it was week 2 of WTL, week 2, where he did completely switch to Terran. And we did ask him, I think it was like a week or 2 ago, and he said that he hasn't played Zerg or Protoss like seriously in a while. it's been a while, Bobby. Been a while. So we do appreciate it. Just to reiterate, it's really cool to see that uThermal, I'm pretty sure it was because of WTL, because he is competing in World Team League, especially after a couple of rough losses. uThermal is, in a way, quote-unquote, taking it seriously, where he is playing like more competitively nowadays, especially now that he's playing in WTL, and he wants, like, I think the best chance to like win games and to take series and to take maps. for his team as we shut down both those Reapers. Reapers are shut down. We're going to be expanding, getting into our third base. So far, pretty solid defense here. Once again, all 3 Reapers full. Once again, we didn't really deal much economic damage. Third base wasn't delayed too much at all, and Fjant has a much more secure early game. Let's go. He's still a Protoss fan? He is still a Protoss fan. True. He is a Protoss fan. As we're working towards that 2-on-1 timing. 3cc 2-on-1, as a reminder. So the same build here 2 games in a row from uThermal is the same build. And we'll see if uThermal can find the same success that he did in the previous game. Overlord dives in. Overlord does confirm the 3rd CC. Does confirm the build of choice. So again, Fjant knows he can be a little bit greedier, he can drone up. We're going for a faster lair this time. Interesting. So if you remember, last game he went for a Baneling Nest first build. This time it's lair first into the Baneling Nest. Still not going to be prioritizing upgrades, still, you know, pulling back on that. So there is going to be a nice upgrade window here for uThermal, as 1-1 is halfway done. To rotate around. I assume that wasn't going to happen again. Yeah, I assume so as well. But I think that's why, like, because he's on like an actual professional team and because he's playing in a team league, I think uThermal's thoughts on like competing seriously again have changed a little bit. Now he wants to do best for offside, which is fair. Pat. Wants to get the best results he can for his team. For his boys. So it does make sense. As here we go. We talked about this kind of stim timing that's moving out, and this is not just a stim timing. 1-1 is done. We have a massive amount of Hellions here to support the army. Do we have an armory? We have an armory, and the Hellbats are soon to be morphed in. This is a much more committed variation here out of uThermal. It's going to hit like a truck. Now, thankfully, Banelings are morphing in. Banelings are on the way up. Some good splits, though, out of uThermal. Does avoid some of those Baneling connections. Lings, they dive in, but they get annihilated by the Hellbats. Marines are pushing forward, and we're getting on top of the Queens. Chance uses okay, but Queens are going down. Nice stutter stepping. We get a second Queen, and can we get a third? Ooh, not quite. Not quite, as Fjant does hold the line. At the same time, Link counterattack did shut down a couple of SCVs. Fjant does hold and will chase this down. Did cost Fjant a couple of Queens, but this time a much more secure defense, as Fjant didn't lose any of his economy, and he's double expanding, getting a 4th and a 5th base. Remember, last game, Fjant had a really hard time actually establishing a 4th. Not this time. Not this time, as Fjant is overextending a little bit, bleeding out some Lings. Has to pull back. Does have to pull back. You see uThermal settling into his tank production. 2-2, halfway done as well. Again, his upgrades are insane. Does have a massive upgrade lead, as 1-1 is still on the way for Fjant. Fjant still going to be backing off though. Again, has the better economy, has a 4th base, which is more than I can say to what he had in game number 1. Again, game 1 was Fjant fighting for a 4th. Here, he has it, and now he's getting a 5th. On top of that, Hydrogen is done. Infestation bit's on the way. That should be for the Hive Tech. That should be for eventually Lurker production as well. Fjant looking much more comfortable this time. And there it is. Hive is on the way. Hydra upgrades just now beginning. You can see uThermal going for some drop play. But this time we have Queens in position. This time we can keep up. As Fjant is going to have to pull back and, ooh, bleeds out a Queen. Lings do dive in. They force a pick up. Even shaving off some of those Lings. So far, nice defense here out of Fjant. And again, because of the Hydrogen, because of the economy that we have, we're able to afford Hydrogen a little bit faster to keep up with all these drops. Like, Fjant is adapting over the course of this series. Kills his own tumor, but it's okay. Bit of a misclick, but he'll be respreading that creep. Creep is going to be respread. And uThermal once again catching some of the queens. Very nice pickoffs. Gets one, gets two. Does catch the creeping queens. There we go, more queens on the way. I appreciate that this time again Fjant is comfortable enough to be able to remake them. So queens being remade. Hydra's on the way. Double drop towards the left-hand side. Fjant, mainly his attention is here towards the north. Hopefully we do send something down here towards the south. So drops are moving out. Then we take down a couple of workers. Two drones go down. The gas geyser as well. Meanwhile, the double drop is seeking into the main. We're slipping in. Yeah, going for the unload. More drones going down. Fjant not quite in position, and no Overlord to scout either. And we're getting some damage done here. We snipe a Hydra. We get 6 drones. Over the Mailings. Oh, not paying attention. uThermal does get away here at the natural, but in the main base, he lost everything. Marines did fall again. Fjant still having a better time defending this time, as we're still on 83 drones. Our creep is looking pretty solid. uThermal committing once again to drop play, but this time Fjant is in position. Oh, we catch the medevacs! 2 medevacs go down. uThermal, no fear, commits. Does commit in. Oh, 4 or 5 drones going down. Oh, 7! The target firing. uThermal getting a lot of worker kills. Yeah, and he's just splitting up his forces, going for a tri-pronged attack. We have a drop here at the natural, drop at the 5th, and drop into the main. And we are getting worker damage. Fjant's going for a counterattack. He will deflect some of this, but even more drones falling. Up until this point, Fjant was doing a good job defending, but now he's pulling back home. Now he realizes that this is becoming too much. 21 drone kills, and just like that, uThermal has a better economy. uThermal, he's basically neck and neck with workers plus mules. uThermal, he's looking solid, and he's maxed out. The Terran player is the first to max out, which is a terrifying thought. And now we're pushing. Now we are going to be pushing. Again, the Hive is done, but I believe we didn't have any Vipers. Yeah, no Vipers. Just Lingbane Hydra. Main army pushing onto creep. uThermal can... Sorry, Fjant, can we defend against this? The drops do continue. We have a good amount of Lingbane Hydra. Depending on the angle, we can clean this up. Drop once again hitting the 4th base. Bailey's rolling in. The first 2 tanks go down. Yeah, we will clean this up. Very nice handling all this engagement by Fjant. Pulling back the Bailings. We preserve them. Across the map, we got another 6 drones. Fjant forcing uThermal back. Up! Up! Can we get the Bailings? Can we get the Marines? Not quite. The tanks, they do siege up. The Bailings go down, and we are overextending a little bit here. Fjant with pure Hydra. It's not going to work out well. Oh, we've cleared out far too many Hydras. Again, Fjant handled the main army nicely, but this is a big overextension. Fjant bleeding out far too much. Ay, ay, ay. And now there are 0 Bailings left. We only have a handful of Hydras. Lurker Den is done, and Lurker upgrades are on the way. And I feel like Lurkers are going to be necessary to defend. But even then, we still have tanks. Full Lurkers on the way. uThermal does have the supply lead. Fjant, he is in trouble. Setting up a link counterattack. Again, barely any creep. The scan reveals the Lurkers. And we're diving in. Are diving forward. Lurkers are sieging up, but a little bit too far behind. Yeah, we're taking down the base at the same time. A link counterattack. We have reinforcements. Yeah, we have plenty back at home. We do get a tank, but not much else. Yeah, the Lurkers, they are out of range to really defend the space. Say that we're diving in. Oh! Dipping on forward. Marines are going down at the same time. We stim forward as well, and we do get on top of the Lurkers. 2, 3 Lurkers go down. We get a 4th. Barely a 5th Lurker. That was a risky move there from uThermal. It looks like we're bleeding out too much bio. Tank goes down. uThermal has been banking up back at home, waiting for a counterattack. And now we're pushing. Now we're moving out with the second wave. Now, what's scary about the trade that we just saw is that Fjant did hold, but Fjant lost how many lurkers? 4. 4 lurkers right now. We have 3 left. And 3 lurkers, that's not going to be enough here. Unless we have some good support. 13 banelings on the way. We have 2 Vipers as well. uThermal encroaching upon the army. Top right, base is going down as well. Yeah, Fjant just doesn't have the supply. We focus on the lurker instantly. There's 2 left. Yeah, 2 lurkers left, and we're out of range of the army. We just focus on the base. We're diving in. We're going for a desperation dive. The splits, the spread is good. And uThermal, he's going to be able to break through this. Yeah, the Hydras, they fall one after the other. There's 2 lurkers left. There's 1 lurker left. GG gets called as the jump towards the north gets out of hand, and uThermal will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. uThermal will take the series. My condolences to Fjant. Again, Fjant was doing so well. He was keeping up. He was able to get up to 5 bases, get into a hive. He was deflecting all these drops. But if you remember, at a certain point, the drops did do an insane amount of damage. It was like 21 or 22 drone kills. It was when it was after the first couple of drops were shut down and the Medivacs died, when uThermal, he snuck in. He was able to get a drop into the main, drop into the 5th, and he was able to push towards the south as well. And that was also at the same time that Fjant moved out. If you remember, Fjant, he sent most of his army across the map, so he didn't have much at home to defend. And after the drops hit, Fjant didn't turn around. He kept pushing, and then as he was almost across the map, then he turned back around, and then he realized that it was getting out of hand, and by then it was too late. By then he had lost far too many workers. It was 20+ drones going down, and it was in that moment that that uThermal gained momentum, that things went his way, and GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to uThermal as he does take the series. They'll successfully pull Fjant apart. Again, Fjant just unable to keep up. We just had a really hard time keeping up both in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 2 was a better performance. Game 2 was definitely a lot cleaner initially from Fjant, but alas, did fall in the end. And now uThermal advances on. Advances on into the next round, and we have an opponent ready and waiting. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. I will need a moment here.